Hello everyone, I'm the Weather Dude, welcome back, and today we are continuing our coverage with our one last video on the major winter storm, the upcoming major winter storm, aka Winter Storm Dane, that is tracking across the Midwest right now. We're going to be covering it today, so stay tuned for the whole video and enjoy. If you'd like staying up to date with the latest weather forecasts and updates, then please consider hitting the subscribe button below. Let's see how fast we can get to 2,000 subscribers. Also, to help this video's performance very much, please consider clicking the like button and sharing this video with your friends. Also, please consider watching the whole video. Thank you. Now let's get on with today's video. So to start off, again, in case there's some of you that don't know, this storm is being driven due to the oscillations. The oscillations can determine a weather pattern sometimes, and luckily all three of these oscillations that I'm going to show you do correspond to the reason why we do have this winter storm, and that's why I think it's very important to show these oscillations, and these do update every day as well. So we have our PNA, and basically what happens when our PNA is in the positive, basically above this black line, and especially when it's far above the black line like it's forecast to be, all right, especially through the first week, at least week of December, and that's going to mean colder air for the east, and that's going to be more stormier patterns for the east, and that's what we're seeing right now, right? I mean, we just had a massive storm over here in the east today. You got a lot of wind and rain closer to the coast, and in the Midwest regions are getting a lot of snow. But to those of you that might be saying it's been raining a lot, I know this is expected, right? We're going to be flipping the switch to snow shortly, if not already, and I think Tuesday will be our main snow day. But as you can see, PNA is definitely in that positive range, which is what we look for. Now, NAO works opposite of the PNA, and you want this to be negative to see the kind of pattern that we're seeing. And as you can see, at least for the first couple weeks of December, it will be going down even further too. So the NAO is going down, and the AO, which is the Arctic oscillation, works the same way as the NAO. Basically, if it goes down, we see colder and snowier patterns for the east. And in turn, talking about the west here, that would mean more warm-ups, and that would mean more drier air for the west. So basically the opposite. And you can see we are trending down towards that as well for the first week, at least the first week of December. And the west, of course, the wildfires are continuing there. All right, there's been a lot of destructive wildfires, thousands, well, actually, I should say millions of acres have been burned. All right, and if we look at the radar, this is the latest radar imagery. I'm actually going to refresh it a little bit so we can see a bit better. There we go. Now, you might be thinking, where's the snow at? Well, this is the National Weather Service radar. I will be showing a more identifiable radar, but this one, it doesn't really tell you whether it's rain or snow. This one just tells you the DBZs of the radar, basically how heavy the precipitation is. And as you can see, just outside of Cleveland is where we're seeing the heaviest precipitation. All right, in and around Cleveland, all right, we see some greens and even some yellows in there as well. Now, what does that look like on the, let me actually refresh this. Now, if you look at Cleveland, you can see that the western part of this is snow, but the in and around Cleveland and to the east, it's rain. So when you looked at the National Weather Service radar, you can see that blob there. That also shows here. So where it's just cold enough for places like North Olmsted, we got Westlake, we got Strongsville, all right? You got heavy snow, but on the east of that rain and snow line, there's some more heavier rain. So where there is just cold enough, we're seeing these darker blues break out with some heavier snow. But again, that's what I said. What happens when you get close to that rain snow line? But again, it's also probably very warm here. Because if you look at Cleveland, at the top here, Cleveland is currently 40 degrees. All right, so here's Cleveland right here, and there's no way it could be this much colder. So probably in these regions, in the dark blue, you guys are probably seeing like 36, 37, where it's just cold enough to have snow, but and we can see heavy snow, but it's probably not sticking to the ground all too much. All right, so as you can see, if we zoom out a bit more, we can show you the radar we have right now. And some areas also in southeastern Ohio, western West Virginia, we're seeing some darker blues, some heavier snow breakout. As you can see for eastern Tennessee, even in the northern Alabama, actually, we're getting some pretty good snowfall rates coming in Alabama right now. As you can see, let's actually play the past radar. And I did turn the opacity up so you can see you can see where the darker blues are, where the heavier snow is. But as you can see, it's being interfered with some green at times. That may change as we start to get a bit colder. But just know that it's barely cold enough to snow in these regions here. Places like Huntsville, like it's the snow is getting a bit farther south than anticipated, which is good for you guys. You guys definitely getting your fair share of flurries. All right, and then also northwestern Georgia. So once it gets down to like the eastern Alabama and northwestern Georgia, then it starts to get a bit too warm, and I feel like that's where the transitioned over to rain. But for now, northern Alabama is sticking with the snow. All right, and of course, a few areas, if you unlucky people in Alabama, a few areas are getting mixed in with rain. But the snow is holding. It's starting to get colder. But just know that if you look at Nashville, actually on the top, it's actually 33 down here. But all the way up in Cleveland, it's actually 40. So you can see where the cold air has managed to sneak behind this system. All right, so now the exciting part. We're going to take a look at some modeling here. Starting off the lovely high resolution model. All right, and before I do that, actually, so this is basically the past 24-hour snowfall for again from the Weather Channel, and this does update up to the minute. So we're getting up to the minute updates here. As you can see, there are a few spots in northern Tennessee that picked up about 3 to 5 inches of snow so far, even more than 5 inches in parts of southern Ohio. As you can see, Cleveland, where this black dot is here, haven't really picked up much. Detroit has got a couple inches of snow. Indianapolis, those dark blue areas is like your 2 to 4 inch. Then your lavender is like your 3 to 6 or 4 to 6. But we picked up about an inch or so on northern Alabama. All right, so we're definitely getting some snow down there, again, due to that reinforced shot of cold air. So this is basically just an up-to-minute update on how much snow we have seen so far. Let's take a look at the high-resolution model now. And as you can see, don't worry about, okay, if it's maybe raining a little bit now. Again, because we're getting actually a bit of lake enhancement, so on the warm side of the storm, the lakes are helping to produce more rain. But once the cold air comes in, now the lakes are going to, the Great Lakes are going to start, switching teams. So instead of helping produce more rain, they're going to help produce more snow. But there has to be enough cold air first. Otherwise, it's going to keep producing rain. All right, so here we have, our snowfall. As you can see, we are right about like around 10 or 11 o'clock or so. But watch we head towards 2 o'clock in the morning. You can see, I mean, by this point, by tomorrow morning, the cold air is pretty much fully taken over. Nothing but blue for Ohio, Pennsylvania. All right, and then it moves on to the east. But Tuesday will still be a snowy day, partly due to the winter storm itself, but also due to some lake enhancement that has basically switched teams. So instead of producing rain, now it will be producing snow at this point. All right, and let's actually look at the total snowfall. So total snowfall, high resolution model. Now, again, this doesn't actually account for all the snow. This is like additional snowfall. This is from update from 5 or 6 o'clock, I think. And actually, additionally, they are talking about 6 to 10, even closer to 12 additional inches of snowfall for northeastern Ohio and northwestern Pennsylvania, which, if you guys stick around, you'll actually see I actually made my own forecast map for towards the end of the video, so you can see my forecast is as well for total snowfall through the storm system. But we have in the Tennessee and North Carolina border, in the mountainous regions there, maybe another 6 inches. Of course, in those higher elevations, I even see 12 down there, actually. Oh, I found 12. All right, so that's a bit much, but I definitely think well over 6 inches is certainly possible. But 12, you would have to go to like the highest points there. All right. Now, if we look at the NAM 3KM model, all right, as you can see some darker blues starting to come in. And that's because there's some warmer air still in the atmosphere, which in theory you do need to produce some heavier snowfall rates. You need that slightly kick of warm air and moisture to produce the heavier snowfall. But once the cold air settles in, all right, by tomorrow morning, you can actually see. So right here, once the cold air starts settling in a bit more, there's not as much moisture to tap into. The snowfall rate will actually go down a little bit. Even though we're going to be seeing snowfall for pretty much the entire day on Tuesday, still moderate at times, even close to heavy for eastern Ohio, western Pennsylvania, northern Pennsylvania, then eventually, according to the NAM model, actually moving through central and western New York. All right, and then after that, it is on out of here. And maybe another storm system after that, who knows. So here, we have snowfall with the NAM model. This is from the 18Z latest model run, and they put quite a hefty amount of snowfall on the table here. They're talking about 15 to 20 plus inches for northeastern Ohio. A good foot for Erie, Pennsylvania, which I do agree with. They put a lot more snow, a lot more widespread, 12 to 15 inches for the mountains. So basically, the NAM kind of just took the high resolution model snowfall totals and just doubled it. So yeah, there's that. And then there's also a lot of snow for northern Pennsylvania according to the NAM model, but just know that the 3KM, well, one I'm showing you right now at least, does tend to go a bit over. All right, but still, it's something to consider. Still well over a foot of snowfall. for areas near the Great Lakes. That is certainly not out of the question. So here we have the HRW model now, and this is kind of like a surprise model. So if you saw this model, you're staying closer to the end, be sure to put the name of this model, the HRW, in the description, or in the comments, excuse me. I have the description. All right, anyway, so here we have Western Ohio and Central and Southern Ohio picking up on the snow. And again, behind that system, we get the steering flow in the backside of the system. Combine that with some wind moving over the Great Lakes. You will see some snow through the day on Tuesday, but once Wednesday rolls around, I think the snow for the most part will be over, but still some heavy snowfall. Again, where do those banding features set up, right? Like northeastern Ohio seeing some heavier snow here when you wake up on Tuesday. So this is definitely something to consider as well. And 48-hour snowfall for them, again, kind of like the NAM model, they do put a bullseye of 2 feet, all right, for northeastern Ohio, which is a bit much, but I would definitely say over 12 inches in some spots is certainly possible. Also in the mountainous regions, we can see like well over 10 inches in more localized areas, but overall, it's a good general few inches of snow, and you got those localized areas that get the bullseye, you get 10, 12 inches of snow or so. So now we're going to move on to my forecast. All right, so here we have my forecast here. So starting off with the light blue region, basically for areas like eastern Wisconsin, parts of UP and Michigan, going all the way down through, I'd say, the northern corner of Alabama, central Tennessee. Outline is blue region, very light blue region here. We have a dusting to 3 inches. And then going into the medium blue, basically for like Motown, Detroit, we get basically the entire state of Ohio and West Virginia, western Pennsylvania, maybe like Pittsburgh, and also Buffalo included that for now, 3 to 5 inches. And in the dark blue area, basically for Cleveland, Erie, and Buffalo, we have about good 5 to 8 inches in that darker blue. And then Cleveland, maybe even Erie, right in that bullseye. In the purple region, I do think 6 to 12 or 8 to 12 plus is possible with isolated 14 plus. And then, of course, in the mountains of eastern West Virginia, western North Carolina, we keep a pick up on 3 to 5. But because they're mountainous regions, I definitely think they could pick up more than 5 or 6 inches of snowfall. So that's it for today's video. Thank you guys for watching. Again, this will be the last update on this major winter storm Dane that we have pushing through. Again, isolated 12 inches plus in some spots, so just wait. The cold air is coming in now. The bullseye of the snow, of course, coming tonight into Tuesday as well. So everything is going according to plan so far. The snowstorm is playing out as expected. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'm The Weather Dude, signing off. Till next time, I will catch you guys in the next video.